So I'm Laura Herrell. I've been working with Martha O'Brien Center for 10 years, going on 11 in January of next year. So I have worked at three of our high schools. We have three high school sites where we have our academic student unions. That's what we call our programs that are focused on high school students and helping them with achieving their dreams after high school. So Martha O'Brien Center has a lot of different supports for families, specifically in the East Nashville community, but we've broadened even further than that to the entire Nashville community. So we focus on a lot of different programs, and we always say we support families from cradle to career. So we have programs that focus on like young children before school age. We have programs that focus on K through 8. We have high school programs, we have post-secondary programs, career programs, adult education, and we really are mostly education focused, but also we have a food bank, for instance, for families who need that extra support with getting food for their families. We also have other supports like that don't have anything to do with education, but that our families need. Like I said, we have three high school programs that are focused on helping students, and they are at Stratford High School, Maplewood High School, and Hunters Lane High School, which is where I am. I've actually worked at all three, but Hunters Lane is where I am right now. So we have kind of two facets of our programs. So during the day, we're really focused on working mostly with seniors, helping them figure out what they want to do with their lives after they graduate, whether that's going to college or starting their career, entering the workforce. Some are interested in going into the military. Some just have no idea. So those, we help them explore different options as well. And then after school, we also have a program that runs from 2 to 5 o'clock, and that's open to the entire school. So students can stay and get homework help. They can do enrichment activities that we have. For instance, we have a recording studio where we are right now. Students can record music. We've had hip hop dance classes. We've had cooking club, arts and crafts with turnip green creative reuse. And we use a lot of different community partners in that after school program. And it's really designed to help those younger students find a place where they can be and then point them toward the future where they may not be ready to fill out their FAFSA or do a college application, but we're really helping them think about what comes next. That's a really good question. So I started as an AmeriCorps, and if you don't know what that is, it's a domestic service program. And so I did 2 years of service with AmeriCorps, and I was at that point working over at Stratford High School, and I just loved our students. That's what's kept me around. I've realized that there's really, there's a lot of work that needs to be done with our students who want to go to college, but don't really know what that entails or don't really know how to get there. Our schools are so overwhelmed, our school counselors are so overwhelmed with the other tasks that they have to get done that a lot of times they don't have as much time to do that college advising or sit and help a student fill out a college application. And so it's been really rewarding for us to be able to come in and do that work so that we can help students get to where they want to be. There are a lot of students, especially in rural areas in Tennessee, that just don't have that kind of support. And I think one thing that I would say is that since the pandemic, we've gotten a lot better at working virtually with students. And so a lot of my job, especially over the summer, seniors are out of school. At this point, they've graduated. And a lot of the work looks like texting, or occasionally we'll do Zoom meetings and phone calls and that kind of thing. But any student that wants to be a part of our programs, we don't say that you have to go to Hunters Lane or Stratford or Maplewood. We, can give any student our numbers and say, hey, if you need help, just text us or email us or whatever that looks like. And, for students that maybe that's just not the way that they prefer to interact with people, maybe they really need that in-person, one-on-one assistance. I think the best way to advocate for yourself is to just keep asking. And, even if your counselor says, I just don't have time right now, go back, the next day, go back the next hour, and just don't give up on that. And somebody is going to help you, because you're right. It's not that they don't want to help. It's just that they have so much going on. My best advice for a student pursuing college is to research. There's a lot of information out there. Some of it's good, some of it's not as good. But it's okay to not know what you want to do, or maybe what kind of college you want to go to. And it's really important to know what your options are. So I encounter a lot of students who their senior year, they haven't really thought about it. And by the time, April comes around, they have kind of missed out on scholarship deadlines. So maybe a 4-year university is not going to be something that they could do when they didn't realize, that they would need to get on that earlier. So I think it's just really important to research on your own, research with a trusted adult, and just see what all the options are so that you can start to narrow those down. Scholarships make or break a lot of our students' ability to attend any sort of post-secondary education. So it's, a lot of our kids just simply wouldn't be able to go if there weren't any scholarships available for them. So, there's scholarships like Tennessee Promise. There's the Hope Scholarship, for example, and those come from the government and from FAFSA, and those are great. They help a lot of our students. But as we all know, if a 4-year university is a student's goal, that's not going to be enough to cover living on campus, getting a meal plan, all of the different costs that a college entails. And so outside scholarships like the Community Foundation scholarships can really be a huge asset to our students who are pursuing that 4-year degree, because a lot of times it means that they can go without having to take on student debt just because they got that one scholarship. Sometimes it means they take less student debt, or they don't have to take out private loans. They can just take out direct or indirect loans from their FAFSA. So it really, college is just not feasible for a lot of our students without scholarships. Absolutely. We also have a post-secondary program. I don't think I've mentioned that yet. But we have 3 post-secondary coaches who work with our high school students as they transition into college, and then while they're in college. So I know a lot of those coaches would say they really encourage students to work as few hours as they possibly can while they're in college, because especially that first year, they just don't realize that it's going to be so much different than high school. No matter how much we tell them, it's impossible to understand until you've actually lived it. So if, a student is trying to hold down a full-time job, 40 hours a week while they're taking college classes, they're not going to have time to study. They're not going to have time to complete all their assignments. And so scholarships can really lessen that burden, especially at a college, if they're going to a community college, for example. Sometimes they can even get a little bit of money back from their scholarships and use that money for books, or use that money for gas or a bus pass, whatever it takes to get to their college classes. Students who have jobs don't have time to invest in the college campus, and so they don't have time to meet a lot of people. They don't have time to get involved in organizations, and so that really, we've seen the studies that say the students who are more involved are more likely to graduate. So if they don't have time to get involved, then what do you do? I think I would want somebody to know that we really act as partners with students to help them figure out what their goal is and how we can help them get to that goal. We're not here to push any student into any certain direction. We're here to walk alongside them as they journey through whatever life is going to bring at them next. So if they are interested in college, great. We're going to help them figure out what college. We're going to help them apply. We're going to help them with FAFSA, apply for scholarships, everything. If they know that college is not their goal right now or ever, that's okay. We're still going to help them figure out what careers they might want to have, what it would take to get into that sort of career. And even if they're wanting to get into the military, we connect them to recruiters who are going to help them with that part too. So we're really here to make those connections and help students with figuring out what's best for them.